It's Jasper from Immaculate Conception and St. Jude Mission Church. It is Saturday of the second week of Lent. Today's date is March 7th, and we are in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15. This is the story of the prodigal son. It is a long gospel passage, and my reading it would take 5 minutes. So I am simply taking a little portion of it today for us to focus on for our meditation. Just as a very quick summary, just in case you haven't heard the story in a while or you don't remember it from years past, it's the story of two sons. One takes his father's inheritance and runs off with it, spends it on a life of dissipation, and then starts to make his way back to the father. The older son never left the father per se, worked in the fields, but then got a little bit upset, jealous, angry when he heard that the younger son was taken back into his father's house. The part that I want to read today and pray with today is really the piece where the son, the younger son, comes back to his father. And that's the piece that I think will be a beautiful meditation for this second week of Lent. So again, this little portion from Luke, and it begins with this. Coming to his senses, the younger son thought, "How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat? But here I am, dying from hunger. I shall get up, and I shall go to my father, and I will say to him, 'Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Treat me as you would treat one of your hired workers.' So he got up and went back to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son.' But his father ordered his servants, 'Quickly, bring the finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Take the fattened calf and slaughter it. Then let us celebrate with a feast, because this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.' And then the celebration began." This probably is one of the most powerful parables of all of Jesus' stories that he tells to help remind us of what his love is and what the kingdom is. But a couple things that I really just want to focus on today. First, when the son who had spent everything and was starving in that pig slop, furthest away from God and even himself that he could be, that statement, coming to his senses, a better way to say it in original translation would be slammed by grace. I love that, slammed by grace. He has this, I've hit rock bottom, and God's grace and God's love has hit me now in such a way that I know that I have to come back to the Father. And give this young man credit, because he very well could have died in the slop and said, "I don't care, nobody loves me," but he had the courage to respond to the grace. Slammed by grace, he had the courage to respond and start to make his way back to the Father. And his way back may not have been perfect. There still was a little selfishness and self-serving attitude toward it. But the point is, he still started to make his way back. And here's what I love. As he's coming back, that father, and I have an image of this father standing on the porch of his house where he last saw his son leave. That father stood there every day looking off in the direction of where his son went and prayed and fasted and loved. And now here comes the son. And instead of the father standing on that porch with his arms folded saying, "I will wait for him to grovel and beg, and I might not even take him back," the father comes running off the porch to meet the son and embraces him and hugs him. The son didn't even get to finish saying what he had planned on saying. That's how incredible the Father's love is for us when we make our way back to him. He never forces it. But look how the love comes running when we respond to the grace and make our way back, even if we're still covered in slop, even if it's stumbling and halting. The Father comes running and embraces. And that Father got covered in the same slop that the Son was covered in. And it didn't matter. because all that mattered is that his child was back in his loving embrace. And that's such a beautiful understanding of what confession is. It's a beautiful understanding of what mercy is. It's a beautiful understanding of who God is. And then from that space, from that reunion, from that union of two hearts again, coming together as one, the Father cries out, quick, get the robe, the ring, the sandals. And the robe, again, is that sign of you are in the family. You share in my kingship, and it's yours. And the ring, we who wear rings, whether for marriage or for religious life, it's the eternal love, meaning that the Father is saying, my love will never leave you. It is eternal. No matter where you've been, no matter what ends up happening, I will never stop loving you. And then finally, the sandals. The sandals were only given to those who were not slaves, because slaves who wear sandals could run away. The Father gives his Son sandals back, meaning, I want you to be a part of this family. I want you to share in my kingship. But I also know this, you could run away again, and yet I'll still keep loving you. My love is eternal. The robe of kingship that I put on you, right, through baptism and through the sacraments, like that is eternal. I will never, ever stop loving you. So with this passage, and again, there is so much more, but hold on to, as we end this second week, it really is the story of a Father's love, mercy poured out from the porch that goes running to meet us. We just have to respond to the grace. And even if it's sloppy, make our way back to the Father. Don't be afraid. Go to confession. Don't be afraid to come back to the fullness of the church and the love of God. There's nothing that we could do that he would ever stop loving us. Take the step. Have courage. Start to make your way back and watch how the Father will run to meet you. God bless you.